Well, it's about 5 a.m. The next day. I've had trouble downloading this video because I had this beautiful Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun, but I think for copyright issues it hasn't worked and won't allow the video to download. So I've taken it off and that beautiful song is replaced by my dull voice. But anyway, I'll try this and see if it works. Thanks. Well, morning everyone. Hope you enjoyed that sunset. Sorry, there you go. Sunrise. It was pretty specky, and you got to love the Beatles, haven't you? Just the melodies are just so fantastic, and that song is just as sweet as ever. Look, spoke to the wife yesterday and just said, Jeff, some of your videos a bit solemn. Try and just put a smile on your face and talk like you normally do. And I suppose it's just having the camera in front of me and sort of trying to prep up something and think about it and write down what I'm going to be saying sometimes makes it all seem a little bit rigid. So I'll endeavour to improve in that area and just try and chill a bit and just tell a story a bit more in that more happy-go-lucky vein. How good's this? Every morning I do this, wake up, get the coffee brewing. Everyone's got their routine, different ways. I tell you, my kids tell me my daughter worked for a couple of years doing bristering work, getting away through her uni studies, and she's got all the hot tips, and they do. Often I say, guys, you want a coffee? They go, no thanks, Dad, we're fine, we'll make our own. So everyone's got their own way of doing it. This is mine, I do it every morning. I just sort of actually enjoy it. It's sort of therapeutic, just getting to the process. And I used to hand grind the beans, but the kids got a bit check of that, and it did take a while, so I got the electric grinder, quickens things up a bit. And look, today's videos, I think we're just going to talk about, I love passionate people. I love people who've got some crazy passion about whatever it is. It could be cooking, it could be stamp collecting, it could be whatever. I find them fascinating to talk to hang around. Passionate people really sort of invigorate me. I like to be around them. And maybe I'll just talk about some of the passions that I have and some other people's passions too, and just relay a few stories. So we might be looking at that throughout today's video. And look, any of you out there too who've got anything to add, would really love to hear from you. Send me a text, drop me a line of you got some videos at home you're doing, you got some old footage, you got some photos from the past, you've got some stories, got a few jokes for June. Anything you got, I'd really love to include some of your stuff in here. Because this is sort of for all of us, and the more your input is involved, the better I think it'll all be. So please send me anything. I'd love to add to the videos with anything that you've got. So in the meantime, hope you're sitting back and doing coffee your way, enjoying the brew, and we'll start into day 8 of Jeff Does Rona. Thanks everyone. Well, here we are for the early morning surf report. A few walkers there, don't know, about 1.5 metres, maybe husband, wife. Okay, they're good to go. Dropped off quite a lot at the moment, the surf. It's not as good as yesterday, slight breeze. Here's the latest, we got 19 degrees, 30 maximum, northerly dropping off for Tuesday. There's a Jimmy Jogger going past, and a bit of activity out on the beach. Looking at about a half moon, quarter moon, and we've got some other details on the bottom there regarding sunrise and sunset. A couple of surfers out on the Palm Beach break with a low tide of 6 a.m, high tide at 12 p.m. Well, here's a classic shot I found on the internet. We've got in India, the police apparently are wearing helmets with the coronavirus stuck on them to just warn pedestrians and people in the street to get back indoors, stay isolated, and so forth. There's some quite funny get-ups with these cool helmets and hats, but yeah, you got to love them. How good's that? Today's phrase of the day is resting on your laurels. So just trying to find the origin of that saying. It's the idea of resting on your laurels dates back to leaders and athletic stars of ancient Greece. In Hellenic times, laurel wreaths were closely tied to Apollo, the god of music, prophecy and poetry. Apollo was usually depicted with a crown of laurel leaves, and the plant eventually became a symbol of status and achievement. Victorious athletes at the ancient Pythian Games received wreaths made of laurel branches, and the Romans later adopted this practice and presented wreaths to generals who won important battles. Venerable Greeks and Romans, or laureates, were thus able to rest on their laurels by basking in the glory of past achievements. Only later did the phrase take on a negative connotation, and since the 1800s, it's been used for those who are overly satisfied with their past triumphs. And that's the phrase of the day. When it comes to passions, one of the things that I've loved and always have since I was a kid, even to this day, and that's automobiles and cars. I think the most beautiful car ever built was the E-Type Jag. It's absolutely stunning. It caused a real sensation in 1961 at the Geneva Motor Show, where it was first shown with the long nose and the bonnet and the hatchback lid, these two doors. It was just a stunning car. It really shocked the world. It was fairly cheap at the time, only came in at about £2,000 to buy one, and this was a major part of why it was such a successful sports car. Was the price. It was about half the price, or a third of the price of a Ferrari, but it had the looks. It looks like it was going fast, just standing still. This red one here, it's the V12. There's three series 1, 2 and 3. This is the third series, the V12. Got the flared arches, the grills on the front of the bonnet, and the covered in headlights have been taken back just to the raw headlights. But as a convertible, it's extremely beautiful, but also as a hardtop, and not many cars can do that. A lot of cars are either nice as one as the other, but the E-Type can pull off both options, hard or soft top. That blue one there, that actually raced in Le Mans. It's had the bumpers taken off. It had a lightweight 3.8 litre alloy block, and was very successful in the Le Mans after the success of the D-Types prior to the E-Types. As you can see too from that motor there, that's got it's got the exhaust pipes, the inlet pipes there, and that's part of the racing motor. The standard cars didn't have that. And that interior is a very cool interior with those cool aeroplane sort of style switches and the stick shift and that lovely wooden steering wheel. The final car there, that's just the aluminium version, and they use that for racing. That bottom silver one, there's only one of those ever built, and that was designed and raced as a lightweight E-Type. But yeah, that's one of my passions cars, and I think this is the most beautiful car ever made. Another thing that I'm a bit passionate about is golf. I played it my whole life, never that good at it, and only in the last year or two just started getting seriously back into it again. Old Ben Jobson, a mate of mine, he's a good golfer and a great instructor, and he just pointed me in the right direction and has knocked to 10 or 12 strokes off my score. I've got a pretty average handicap, about 24, 25, and I'm just playing a bit while I'm away on trips and sometimes also at home. It's great for this Corona thing because today I went out to the course just at Tullabudra there, and hardly anyone on the course. Here you can see they've reversed the cups, put the cups upside down, so that when you putt the ball into the hole, you don't have to pull the flag out. So no one's to touch the flag. The ball goes in, as you can see it here shortly, rolls in and sits up nice and proud. You can just pull the ball out and continue playing. So it was coronavirus friendly. Little par 3 here, just had a chip onto the, I think I parred this one, which was good. But look, it's a great game. I don't really compete with other people, I just compete with myself, just trying to get a better score, and just enjoy going for a walk in the bush, a couple of ducks here, and it's fun just having a laugh with some of your mates. If you love golf too, you've got to see the movie Caddyshack. It's a classic. Came out in the 80s. It's got Bill Murray in it. Ted Knight, and it's just oh, here's my camera. It started to slide off the mount, and there I was playing Down Under. But yeah, great movie. Check it out. And remember, here's a question: what was the fictional name of the golf club in the movie Caddyshack? A. Bushwood Country Club, Indiana Hills, Kensington, or Chumps Hollow? And all you avid golf fans will know the answer to that question. Great movie. Another good one. Happy Gilmore is another great movie, also worth getting out for a bit of a laugh. I was playing with a guy, an 80-year-old fella, and his name was Frosty, and he just had no approach, very unorthodox sort of style. He'd just step up to the ball, swing back and have a crack, never lined up, never grounded the club, and he just hit it dead straight all day. He beat us by 15 shots. He only hit it 150 metres, but it was dead straight, and he just cleaned us up. It was just great to watch, and the way he just approached that ball and just had a whack, he was a real character. So that was a lot of fun. Fortunately, in Queensland, the golf clubs are still open. They've just shut them in New South Wales, so there's no golf to be played down there. But luckily up here, you can still get around and you can play a minimum of 2 people, and pretty well no sand buggies. Here we go, final hole, and bang, in the hole. Look, I had a pretty good round. I got... But I get 38 points, so 2 over my Stapleford points. Had a nice round out my own, but a good day spent. So, yeah, it's a passion of mine. So if you like it, have a crack, get into it. And we'll talk to you soon. Hong Fu Sing fortune cookie time. Pretty funky. All right, let's have a look. We've got a lucky dip today. There they are there. Which one shall we take? Let's try this one and see what the fortune has in store for us today. Lucky numbers. Look, don't have to read those out. Just a bunch of numbers. But more importantly, the same. And the current year will bring you much happiness. And certainly I hope that is true, because it hasn't been a good start. Anyway, that's it for the fortune cookie, and good luck. Bring it on, I say. Lots of happiness coming our way, everybody.
And good evening, everyone. We're a little later today. It's a group of friends male friends having a drink at the hotel. And the phone rings for one of them, and he goes and answers the phone, and it's his wife. She wants to know where he is. He's been gone long enough. So he said, I'm just having a few quiet drinks with the friends. But he said, someone's just come in and coughed all over us. Now they've put us in isolation. I won't see you for 14 days. Bye-bye.
Bye.